living in Dominica. What if the secret to a longer, healthier, wealthier life wasn't hidden in a lab, a supplement, or a Silicon Valley biohacking retreat, but on a small volcanic island in the Eastern Caribbean, one most people couldn't find on a map? This is Dominica. Dominica Island, not the Dominican Republic. Dominica is a land so untouched, so spectacularly alive that the locals simply call it the Nature Isle of the Caribbean. And right now, and under the radar, a very deliberate migration is happening. People moving to in Dominica may choose to settle in Roseau, the capital city, but might just as likely choose to live outside the cities in the lush and gorgeous countryside. High net worth individuals, location-independent professionals, and wellness-focused families from North America, Europe, and beyond are choosing this island not as a vacation destination, but as home. In this video, we're going to show you exactly why and whether Dominica could be the most important relocation decision of your life. Living in Dominica, you live longer and you live better. Why Dominica? Why now? These are the questions that every smart relocator asks first. Dominica sits in the Lesser Antilles, nestled between Guadeloupe to the north and Martinique to the south. It's roughly 290 square miles of volcanic terrain, and nearly 60% of that land is protected rainforest. It has 365 rivers, one for every day of the year. It has boiling lakes, hot springs, and some of the most pristine coral reefs remaining on Earth. But geography alone doesn't explain the migration. The real story is timing. The world has changed. Remote work is permanent for millions of professionals. Tax structures that once trapped high earners in expensive jurisdictions are now optional. And the definition of the good life, for a growing number of people, no longer includes a brutal commute, chronic stress, and a healthcare system that treats illness rather than preventing it. Dominica is rising at exactly the moment the world is ready for it. Real estate values are climbing. Infrastructure investment from the government is accelerating, and yet it remains one of the most affordable and accessible relocation destinations in the Caribbean. The window is open, but windows don't stay open forever. Insider's tip for relocation success. The best time to plant a flag in an emerging destination is before the mainstream discovers it. Dominica's infrastructure investment cycle and its Citizenship by Investment program mean that early movers lock in the best real estate prices, the most favorable processing timelines, and the greatest appreciation potential. If Dominica is on your radar, don't wait. Is Dominica right for you? Before we go deeper, let's get honest about something. Dominica is extraordinary, but it's not for everyone. And the most powerful thing this video can do is help understand the difference. Dominica will resonate deeply if you value natural beauty over urban density. If you believe that access to clean air, clean water, and outdoor movement is a non-negotiable part of your quality of life. If you are a high net worth individual seeking legitimate financial advantages without sacrificing lifestyle. If you are a retiree or semi-retiree who wants your body to stay younger longer. Or if you've ever read about blue zones and thought, I want to live like that. Dominica may not be your fit if you need the nightlife of Miami, the shopping of Manhattan, or the corporate infrastructure of a global financial hub. This island is deliberately unhurried. Its pace is intentional. And for the right person, that pace is not a limitation. It is the point. The people who thrive in Dominica tend to share a set of values: health, freedom, community, and a deep appreciation for the natural world. If that sounds like you, keep watching. Insider's tip for relocation success. Before committing to any relocation, spend at least 2 to 4 weeks in your target country during different seasons if possible. Experiencing both Dominica's drier months and its lush, rainy season will confirm whether the island's rhythm truly matches yours. Where to live in Dominica? Where exactly should you live in Dominica? The answer depends entirely on the lifestyle you're designing. Roseau is Dominica's capital and its largest city, though the idea of city here carries a very different energy than what most North Americans or city-dwelling Europeans are used to. Roseau has the feel of a vibrant, walkable Caribbean town rather than a metropolis, and that is a feature, not a bug. Roseau offers the island's most developed infrastructure: government offices, the main hospital, banks, supermarkets, restaurants, and the primary ferry terminal connecting Dominica to Martinique and Guadeloupe. If you want to be close to services, administration, and the social pulse of the island, Roseau is your base. From Roseau, you are minutes from the Botanical Gardens and a short drive from Trafalgar Falls, the Sulphur Springs, and some of Dominica's finest hiking trails. The healthy life begins the moment you step outside your door. An hour's drive north of Roseau lies Portsmouth, Dominica's second-largest town, and for many expatriates, the preferred choice. Portsmouth sits on Prince Rupert Bay, one of the finest natural harbors in the Caribbean. It is quieter, more relaxed, and has developed a thriving international sailing and yachting community. Portsmouth is also home to a diverse, internationally minded community, a growing cafe scene, and incredible access to the outdoors: kayaking the Indian River, diving volcanic underwater terrain, hiking northern trails, and enjoying year-round recreation on land and sea. But for those seeking true immersion in Dominican life, and perhaps the strongest connection to what makes this island so healthy, the villages and countryside offer something neither Roseau nor Portsmouth can fully replicate. Communities beyond the major towns offer space, fresh air, fertile land, and a pace of life that actively supports longevity. There are wonderful opportunities both in and outside the major population centers. The key is choosing the version of Dominica that fits the life you want to build. Insider's tip for relocation success: don't make your locale decision based on online research alone. Dominica's microclimates vary dramatically. Spend time in multiple areas before choosing and let the land speak to you. Food, culture, and the Dominican life. To understand whether you will love living in Dominica, you need to understand the culture. And the culture of Dominica is unlike anywhere else in the Caribbean. Dominica is home to the Kalanago, the last surviving indigenous people of the Caribbean. Their presence is a living cultural thread woven into daily life, from crafts and food to land traditions and community identity. The broader Dominican culture is warm, community-centered, and deeply tied to the natural world. People know their neighbors, they grow food in their yards, they celebrate with music, festivals, and traditions that still feel rooted in place rather than manufactured for tourism. The food culture is an extension of that way of life. The weekly market in Roseau is a social ritual, and what fills those market stalls is worth a close look, because it tells you everything about how naturally healthy life here can be. Dasheen, a starchy, nutrient-dense root vegetable related to taro, rich in fiber and potassium, and a staple of the Dominican diet for centuries. Callaloo, the leafy green tops of the Dasheen plant, packed with iron, calcium, and antioxidants, and used in soups and stews the way North Americans might use spinach. Breadfruit, a large, versatile tree fruit that is high in complex carbohydrates and vitamins, which can be roasted, boiled, or fried, and has fed Caribbean communities for generations. Plantain, a cousin to the banana, eaten cooked rather than raw, a rich source of vitamins B6 and C, and a natural energy food that forms the backbone of countless Caribbean dishes. Christophane, a mild, crunchy green vegetable similar to a squash, low in calories and high in folate, often stuffed, sautéed, or added to stews. Soursop, a creamy, sweet, tart, tropical fruit whose flesh and leaves have been studied for their antioxidant properties, and which you will find in fresh juices across the island. And passion fruit, tart, bright, and loaded with vitamins, eaten fresh or blended into the kinds of drinks you genuinely cannot find in a bottle at home. These are not exotic novelties. For Dominicans, this is simply Tuesday's lunch, and that is precisely the point. Insider's tip for relocation success. One of the fastest ways to integrate into Dominican life is through food. Shop at local markets, learn local produce, and say yes to shared meals. Food is one of the quickest paths to belonging on the island. Dominica as a blue zone, health and wellness. This may be the most important section in the entire video because it speaks to something that no financial structure, tax strategy, or luxury amenity can replace. Your health, your longevity, your vitality. Dominica has gained serious attention in longevity circles as a potential blue zone, one of those rare environments where the conditions for a long, healthy, active life are not engineered or hacked. They are simply natural. What makes a blue zone? A diet rich in whole, locally grown foods, regular low-intensity movement built into daily life, strong social bonds and community purpose, low chronic stress, and a deep connection to nature. Dominica checks every one of those boxes. Dominican cuisine is built on the land. Dasheen, breadfruit, plantain, callaloo, sweet potato, fresh fish, and tropical fruits you may have never tasted before. Meals here are not heavily processed, packaged, or engineered. They are grown, harvested, and cooked with generations of practical wisdom. And then there is the movement. In Dominica, exercise is built into the texture of daily life. Hike through jungle trails to a hidden waterfall, swim in the warm Caribbean Sea before breakfast, dive Champagne Reef, walk coastal roads, climb mountain trails, kayak the Indian River, paddleboard at sunset, go water skiing, parasailing, diving, climbing, hiking, and swimming all year long. The island is your gym, your spa, and your playground, all in one. Then there are the sulfur hot springs, and these deserve a moment because they are one of Dominica's most remarkable natural health gifts. The island's volcanic geology heats mineral-rich water to temperatures between 37 and 45 degrees Celsius, warm enough to deeply relax muscle tissue, open circulation, and ease joint inflammation, but not so hot as to be uncomfortable for extended soaking. The water is naturally rich in sulfur, magnesium, calcium, and silica. Sulfur is one of the oldest therapeutic minerals known to humans, used for centuries to support skin health, reduce inflammation, and assist in the body's natural detoxification processes. Bathing regularly in these springs is not a spa indulgence. For Dominicans, it is simply part of life. For newcomers, it tends to become one of the most treasured weekly rituals on the island. This is not a place where you need to motivate yourself to be active. The island motivates you every single day. Insider's tip for relocation: success. One of the most underrated health benefits of relocation is the psychological reset. Living in a place with natural beauty, fresh air, outdoor movement, and a slower pace can reduce the chronic stress load that quietly ages people in high-pressure environments. Healthcare in Dominica. Let's talk about healthcare, because for high-net-worth relocators and retirees, this is often the pivotal factor in any relocation decision. Dominica's public healthcare system is anchored by the main hospital in Roseau, along with a network of health centers and clinics distributed across the island. For routine medical care, general consultations, and primary health services, the system is accessible and relatively affordable. For complex procedures, specialist care, or advanced emergency intervention, many expatriates and residents travel to nearby islands or to the United States. This is not a deal breaker, but it is a practical consideration that every smart relocator needs to plan for with strong international health insurance. Here is the deeper truth about healthcare in Dominica, and it connects directly to the Blue Zone conversation. The island's greatest healthcare asset is preventive. The lifestyle itself, the diet, the physical activity, the clean air, the low stress, supports better health before medical intervention is even needed. The best healthcare system in the world is the one you do not need to use as often. Dominica gives you a fighting chance at that. Insider's tip for relocation: success. Before relocating to Dominica, secure international health insurance that includes medical evacuation and specialist care outside the island. This is one of the most important pieces of your financial protection plan. Cost of living and financial architecture. For financially minded viewers, Dominica's value proposition goes far beyond lifestyle. It is also a serious financial strategy conversation. A comfortable expatriate lifestyle in Dominica can cost significantly less than life in major North American or European cities, especially if you embrace local food, local routines, and a less consumption-heavy lifestyle. Housing, produce, and many everyday costs will be lower, while imported goods will usually carry a premium. That means the people who thrive financially in Dominica are usually the ones who adapt well. They do not try to recreate a North American consumer lifestyle on a Caribbean island. They build a new lifestyle that fits the place. For high net worth individuals, Dominica also attracts attention because of its broader financial advantages and its role in international diversification planning. For the right person, the combination of healthier living, lower ongoing lifestyle costs, and strategic financial planning can be very compelling. Insider's tip for relocation success. Before making tax or residency decisions, work with a qualified cross-border tax specialist who understands both your home country and Caribbean structures. The opportunity is real, but the setup needs to be done correctly. Safety and stability. Safety is non-negotiable for any serious relocation, and it deserves a frank look. Dominica is generally regarded as one of the safer and more politically stable countries in the Caribbean. The most common concerns are usually opportunistic petty theft rather than severe violent crime, and many expatriates describe daily life as calm, friendly, and safe. Politically, Dominica has maintained stability for decades and has shown a strong focus on climate resilience and long-term national development. That matters when you are evaluating not just beauty, but long-term needs. On the natural risk side, Dominica does sit in the hurricane belt and has an active volcanic landscape. These are real considerations, but they are manageable with the right property selection, insurance, and emergency planning. Insider's tip for relocation success. When evaluating property, ask detailed questions and do your own research about storm resilience, drainage, road access, and how the area performed in previous extreme weather events. Beauty matters, but resilience matters too. Daily life in Dominica, city and countryside. Let's paint the picture of what daily life actually feels like, because relocation decisions are ultimately about lived experience as well as policy. Morning in Roseau might begin with birdsong, fresh coffee, and a walk to the market before the day heats up. You may work for a few hours, run some errands, stop by the waterfront for a chat with friends, and then spend the afternoon hiking, swimming, diving, or simply being outdoors. That is part of the magic of Dominica. Healthy recreation is not an occasional luxury. It is woven into normal life. In the countryside, the rhythm changes. There may be more driving, more silence, more space, and a stronger connection to land and self-sufficiency. You might grow some of your own food, swim in a river instead of the sea, and trade convenience for peace. Both versions of life can be beautiful. The city gives you services and connection. The countryside gives you solitude and immersion. Dominica offers wonderful possibilities in both. And for those wondering about staying connected, whether for work, family, or simply the habits of modern life, Dominica's digital infrastructure has come a very long way. A decade ago, connectivity was one of the most common hesitations for professionals considering Dominica. Today, that story has changed significantly. Fiber internet is now available across Roseau and major urban areas, with providers like Digicel and Flow offering speeds that comfortably support remote work, video calls, and content creation. The rollout continues to expand outward from the cities. And for those in more rural or coastal locations, Starlink satellite internet has been available in Dominica since the early 2020s and has been genuinely transformative for expats who want life in nature without sacrificing a fast, reliable connection. For digital nomads, remote workers, and online entrepreneurs, the era of treating Dominica as too remote for serious work is over. The island now offers the rare combination that professionals increasingly seek, a genuinely beautiful, healthy place to live that also stays connected to the world. Insider's tip for relocation success. Always test internet speed and reliability at the specific property you are considering, not just the general area. The difference between two addresses a few minutes apart can be significant. Ask your landlord or local contacts about real-world performance before signing anything. Dominica's citizenship by investment. For high-net-worth individuals, this is one of the most strategically compelling parts of the Dominica conversation. Dominica operates one of the world's best-known citizenship by investment programs. For many investors, it is attractive not only because of global mobility, but because it can fit into a broader strategy of diversification, optionality, and international planning. There are two main routes. One is a government contribution. The other is an investment in approved real estate. Each path has different advantages depending on whether the priority is speed, simplicity, or asset ownership. For some people, citizenship is the first step and actual relocation comes later. For others, the lifestyle draws them first and citizenship becomes part of the long-term plan. Either way, Dominica occupies a very interesting position in the world of second citizenship. Insider's tip for relocation success. Work only with licensed government-authorized professionals when exploring citizenship by investment. This is a space where reputation, due diligence, and proper guidance matter enormously. From arrival to permanent residency. Let's walk through the practical side. From arrival to building a real life on the island. For many visitors from Tier 1 countries, getting into Dominica for an exploratory stay is relatively straightforward. That makes it easy to visit first, experience the island directly, and make decisions based on reality rather than fantasy. Most new arrivals start by renting while they learn the geography, neighborhoods, road patterns, weather patterns, and lifestyle differences between regions. That approach gives you flexibility and reduces the odds of making an expensive emotional decision too early. For those pursuing residency, there are pathways for retirees, investors, and people building economic ties to the island. Over time, longer-term residency and even citizenship may become possible depending on the route you choose. But the real transition from visitor to resident is as much about integration as it is about paperwork. It is finding your rhythm, your people, your routines, your market, your coastline, your trail, your sense of place. Insider's tip for relocation success. Connect with the expatriate community before you arrive. People already on the ground can help you avoid mistakes, accelerate your setup, and understand the real day-to-day experience far better than any touristy brochures ever will. Dominica offers something rare, a life that can be healthier, calmer, more beautiful, and more intentional. Whether the draw is the lifestyle, the recreation, the financial advantages, or the possibility of living in a place that supports longevity in a natural way, Dominica deserves a serious look. Subscribe to our channel by scanning the QR code on screen.